Hello guys, so today we're gonna talk a little bit about the iPhone 13. As you know, I've made a little video about this just briefly. So the big question is, can you actually record really good filmmaking stuff and photography stuff with this one phone? That's what we're gonna talk about today. Well, let's start with specs first. So this phone has 3 different lens styles. So as the previous iPhones, we do have 3 lenses. We have the normal, we have the zoom or tele lens, and also the ultra wide lens, which is many people's absolute favorite. Which is super practical for you that don't want to have like a DSLR and then also pack down 3 big lenses down into your backpack, because that is gonna make you much more heavier, for example. It's nice to just have every lens you need straight in your camera on your phone. The phone itself has actually 12 megapixels, so that is really good for photos and video in a good mix. In this case, you do have very sharp video and photo capabilities with the 12 megapixel. It can also record in 4K in 24 FPS for all of you really nice filmmakers out there, and up to 60 FPS per second. You do have also the slow motion modes that is super great, because they can actually give you a slow motion effect of 120 to 240 FPS, which is amazing. So if you really want to slow down something that we all really love, well, this is the perfect place to go with the iPhone, because you can have that option also. And the lastly thing that I'm gonna talk about in the specs section is actually the thing that makes everything come together into one big thing. And that is that this phone is equipped with sensor shift image stabilization, which is optical, which makes the lens like move with the flow as you're moving, which makes all the footage super stable. And you can even get like tripod results almost on handheld photos. And then on the videos, they're gonna be crispy clear all the time, which is super great. You won't even like need to use a gimbal in most of the cases, because the phone has such a good stabilization, as is very good shown in a previous video that I have made with only using the 13 Pro for a montage video showing off my destination. And with that video, I even walked like a few times, and many times I was just steady standing and just panning around, for example. But I did walk around in some cases, and those places you can barely see that I'm actually walking without a gimbal. With that said, you can then see how good is the actual potential of using just your phone. As you can see, is really good. But there is one thing that I need to say. I did actually use manual settings in the camera, like having manual exposure, so you can get your exposure levels down when needed, so it doesn't change your exposure levels while you're walking around, because this can make it really horrible for you in the end, like when you're actually editing the footage and you want to do color grading and everything, and like mid-roll it just pops up the exposure, and you're gonna be like, oh no, what happened here? And it's not gonna look great. And I didn't even use the cinematic mode this time, but I'm sure I'm gonna use the cinematic mode much more now in the future when using my phone, because I can actually see the big potential. For me personally, I'm mostly a DSLR shooter, but I do shoot a lot of stuff on my phone, and even portrait photos I've done on my phone. So when I'm not using my DSLR and I just need something like real quick in a snap and have a crisp photo or video, then I usually just pop up my phone, no fancy gear needed, just straight out of pocket, which is really nice. So much better, because usually when I use the portrait mode that is actually integrated into the phone, I don't really get the same results, and also the blur around the person is usually not very good, especially around hair details. So there actually the telephoto lens just makes everything automatic and perfect, straight, you know? So what do I say? Well, I do say that you can definitely use the iPhone 13 Pro as a camera or a filmmaking camera for your projects. It all depends on your client you're working with, of course, because some clients are just happy with seeing a nice result and they don't care what you're using. While some clients do not want you to come up with a phone when they do expect you to come up with a big rig of filmmaking gear and show that you're super professional. So sometimes the gear do matter in that sense, and how the client is gonna observe, okay, he comes with much gear, this guy is professional. In those cases, when you are getting clients that is a little bit more high, then you can actually start using a DSLR. But in the beginning, you can use your phone, no problem whatsoever. Actually, you can just upgrade your phone with a lot of accessories like a small little tripod, gimbals, and then also microphone on top. Like I do have a thing I can recommend, I can put it down in the description, that I always use on my phone. So it can actually have 3 more things on top, plus a cold shoe. So you can have extra lights, microphones, and everything else on top of your iPhone, which it makes it super easy to use. So my recommendation, if you want to shoot more with your phone, then I do recommend getting the iPhone 13 Pro. So I will actually link it down below, because now new phone will probably come out soon, which makes it really good for you to get a good price on the 13 Pro, which is a masterpiece in photo, and it was revolutionary on iPhones to get this good quality stuff. I do want you to remember that if you want in cinematic mode to shoot in ProRAW or ProRes, then you need to have the 256GB storage on your iPhone. Otherwise, you will not be able to have this option. So think about that when you're buying it. So final conclusion, can you have it as your filmmaking or photo, video gear, bam, in your accessories? Yes, definitely you can. No problem at all. And I do recommend you to get it, or if you already have it, start using it, because it's amazing. And if you want to actually see the full montage that I made with the iPhone 13 Pro, then just watch it up here. So if you just click on this video, you will go straight to the montage. But until next time guys, have a good day. Bye.